Thank you very much. If you end up at the ICU, you actually have a 1 in 10 chance of dying. But if you, however, develop complications during your stay at the ICU, those chances increase up to 50%. That's why it's very crucial that the staff at the ICU can monitor your vital organs, as you can see over here. But there is, however, one crucial organ that is missing. It's one of the largest organs of them all, and that's the gastrointestinal tract. The gastrointestinal or GI tract is regarded as one big black box at the ICU, but also elsewhere. And we have developed a technology to open up this black box and to decrease complications and decrease mortality at the ICU. But why is it so important to monitor the GI tract? First of all, gastrointestinal stasis or ileus or gastroparesis occurs quite often at the ICU in about 50% of all patients. And that's also because a lot of these patients receive opioids for their pain. It's currently very difficult to diagnose gastrointestinal failure. However, when left unnoticed, its complications, such as ischemia, might be potentially lethal. Patients at the ICU often receive food directly into their stomach with a nasogastric tube. That's what we call enteral nutrition. However, with the physicians left into the dark as to whether or not the stomach is functioning or not, they feed at risk for complications. So they tend to underfeed their patients and tend to switch to parenteral nutrition much more often than they should. Parenteral nutrition, which is clearly linked to worse outcome for these patients. Nausea and vomiting occur often at the ICU and are very disturbing for patients. Being able to pinpoint the origin of nausea and vomiting to impaired gastric motility would allow more efficacious treatment. Our solution is a seemingly simple device and method. The core of our innovation is a modification of an existing feeding tube, which is used so often at the ICU. We have attached a balloon to this catheter, a balloon which is unique and patented and can be inflated into the stomach. If inflated into the stomach can contract on this balloon, inducing pressure spikes, which can be recorded with an external pressure sensor. And here you see such a pressure readout over 10 hours of time. And as you can appreciate, it's a rather complex pressure readout. It's an integration of different processes that act on the pressure on the balloon. But we have developed an algorithm that can filter out and quantify stomach contraction-induced pressure peaks. So we can suggest to the physician whether or not the stomach is working properly or not. We have shown that our method is proven that our method is working in healthy volunteers and in critically ill patients. So far, we have run over more than 85 clinical tests. We have shown in healthy volunteers, we have demonstrated in healthy volunteers that the expected decrease in motility after treatment with opioids can be detected. And moreover, have we seen a very good correlation between the motility measured by us and gastric emptying. In all our trials, the method was found to be safe and feasible. We are currently planning clinical benefit studies in close cooperation with US and European physicians. Our first indication is the intensive care unit, but we also like to open up post-operative ileus and gastroparesis with our method. So VIPUN Medical opens up the black box that is the gastrointestinal tract currently. Our device is seemingly simple yet cost-efficient, resulting into safer and fact-based patient management. Through our methodology, we will avoid complications and save lives at the ICU, but also elsewhere, just as in post-operative ileus and gastroparesis. Thank you very much.